Story now that's dominating the social media space. One of South Africa's top road cyclists, Nicholas Dlamini, suffered a broken arm following a scuffle between himself and Table Mountain Rangers on Friday. Dlamini is part of the Dimension Data team. He is close to becoming the first black South African to cycle in the Tour de France and had high hopes of making it to the Olympics. Environmental Affairs Minister Barbara Creecy now joins me on the line. A very good evening to you, Minister. Thanks indeed for your time. Do we know exactly what happened? I mean, the video that has gone viral is quite shocking.
I have seen the video of this horrible incident, and I think, like all other South Africans, I feel that what I have witnessed is highly inappropriate behavior. I have instructed SANParks to suspend all the officials involved and to put in an independent investigation. I'm also just at the moment at the hospital. I have visited Nick Dlamini and I have heard from him firsthand his experience, and I think that it is absolutely the correct thing to do to suspend the officials involved and to do this independent investigation so that we can get the full facts, and obviously then we would need to take certain remedial action.
Minister, exactly how many officials have been suspended? It isn't quite clear exactly how many people were involved in what we saw happening in that video. How many exactly?
Well, that's why I have instructed the management to, when I contacted them earlier today, they had told me that they were already doing certain of their own investigations. And I have said that everybody who's involved, and I think that the clip, I sent it to them, it's fairly easy to see who's involved. There may well be others that we didn't see on the clip, and that is their duty. To do that and to suspend them.
Did you get any indication from the conversations that you had with SANParks about approximately how many people then may have been involved in that video that we saw?
No, they didn't. I just was making it very clear that I expect action to be taken.
In your conversation with Mr. Dlamini, could you kindly take us into your confidence, Minister? You spoke to him. What has he detailed about what we're seeing on that particular video? Obviously, the entire video itself would not give great detail about what exactly transpired.
Yes, well, he was on a training run, and he encountered the SANParks officials, and he explained that they had tried to get him to go into a van, and at that time the incident that we saw recorded happened.
So he had done absolutely nothing wrong. He was cycling on that trail, and all of a sudden they just wanted to push him into the van. Is that what you're saying?
Look, I think that what you would understand is that this matter is obviously subject to an internal investigation. Of course, Mr. Dlamini has his rights as a citizen, and I wouldn't want to anyway infringe on what those rights would be. So I think that, we need to leave him to make the relevant statements that he would want to make and need to make. And that what we have to do from our side is to take action so that if there are officials who are behaving inappropriately, the public should not be worried that they would also fall victim to an incident.
Yeah. Minister, have doctors given any indication at this stage about how long he will take to recover? I know he was one of those who had his high hopes on cycling in the Tour de France.
I can't discuss his medical condition with you. He was consulting a specialist. When I arrived, I didn't sit in on that interaction. He does have a manager, and I think that would be the appropriate person. I understand the manager has issued a statement to say that there is a fracture, and I'm sure that would be the appropriate person to inform you further of his medical condition.
That's quite a popular stretch of road, and obviously, I mean, during a time like this, for example, where you have quite a number of tourists that are coming to South Africa, for example, to enjoy themselves, and there are unfortunate scenes like this, as you've described, taking place. Does it send a wrong message about perhaps what the kinds of things that could happen in South Africa for whatever reasons? Obviously, we'd need to hear from those rangers themselves about why they got involved in such conduct.
Well, I think many members of the public have seen that clip, and I'm sure they would feel that that's not the kind of message that they would want spread about of their country.
All right, Minister, thank you very much indeed for your time. Environmental Affairs Minister Barbara Creecy talking to us, of course, about that unfortunate video that has gone viral. She is, of course, calling for the suspension of the rangers involved in that incident. She's called on SANParks to ensure that appropriate action is taken. Let's move on.